Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel for another video on Marvel Contest of Champions. This is started off with more of a serious tone because it is going to be a serious and focused video. In most of my other videos that I normally do have some sort of kind of comedy to them and you'd expect a punchline roundabout now. It's not going to be. I'm going to be talking to you about Marvel Contest of Champions Burnout. This video is to serve as an advisory video, helping out those that maybe are suffering from burnout, from the types of content that's been put in game, maybe feeling a bit bored, and at the same time would still like to continue on in some light competitive way, but not as much as they feel that they have to be forced in order to make progression in Marvel Contest of Champions. As we know, over recent months in game, there's been an influx of various different types of content. Whether or not it's similar to things like occult labs or dimensional rifts or tests of valor, or in this month, the month of October, an extra difficulty in shape and form of symbiote. Not to mention reoccurring dungeons and the ever increasing amount of new featured champions that have been put into the arena, and the needs for things like units, for more shards, and the general progression route to try and get a favorable champion pool out of 5 and 6 star crystals, and to a lesser degree, and for those progressing, 4-star crystals. After completing such story modes as Act 5 and with the awaiting of Act 6, you might be thinking to yourself, well, what do I do in game? Do I have any purpose for the in-game stuff? Am I just going to be getting new in-game champions? Am I progressing for Labyrinth of Legends? Or have I reached the stage where I'm going to be talking about now? And that's burnout. Burnout can be the feeling around so many different things, whether or not you feel that you're not making the progression and the amount you're grinding out is not seeing anything return, so you're not getting the favorable or decent champion pools, even by getting loads of 5-star shards, and that's making you feel deflated. The same way, obviously, this gambling aspect is spinning a crystal like a roulette wheel and getting disappointment at the end of it. You've put all your money on black and it lands on red. Does fill you with a very empty heart. We're not going to lie, that is how I felt sometimes when I'm getting terrible pulls, and I'm sure that a lot of other people feel the same way. Burnout can be as well grinding out intensely in arena for a god knows amount of time, trying to get either a 5, a 4-star, or maybe that 3-star you're looking to get. But unfortunately, you just missed out, or you felt that you've lost a lot of time over something like a weekend or a midweek that you could be better spent in other games or doing other things in your general day-to-day life. Burnout could be with new event quests. You can't really keep up to date with stuff. You're not grinding out as fast for those extra spin-offs, like this month, occult labs. And we've even got dungeons as well. And granted, this is going to be ending shortly. It has been something that's been extra content. However, this is the other aspect that we haven't considered, and the burnout through having to do Alliance Quest and Alliance Wars. Especially with Alliance Wars seasons, it means you've got to be extra competitive. Alliance-based quests and war have meant in some ways that this has been a little bit too much for certain players, and that has been the thing that's tipped them over to then push them away from the game. Now that we've seen what has caused burnout, how do we look at trying to keep us mentally strong to continue on with the game, providing you still want to continue on, but you just don't like the intense grinding? And to give you an idea, I actually stopped playing the game 4 times over the 4 years that I've played the game. It's usually about once a year I take a little bit of a month off and I don't grind the game quite as much. And you might be thinking, well, how do you release content? Well, most of the time I'm doing stuff like this, like commentary-based YouTube stuff. Then at the same time, I'll only log on to do my Alliance Quest and Alliance Wars, but we'll go into a bit more detail. In the month of September, I made a decision that I wanted to take some time off from the game, but I wanted to still remain competitive and get things and resources from Alliance Quest and Alliance Wars, which was beneficial to me and my further progression. In that month, I didn't live stream that much to none. At the start of the month, I logged on to do the event quest, doing Heroic, Master, and Epic for the month of September, only logging on to do my Alliance Quest and Alliance Wars commitments. It was incredibly important for me to focus on my day job, and at the same time I wanted to play other games. I began to play Dungeon Hunter Champions and Spider-Man on the PS4. It effectively stripped down my grinding in-game from about 5 hours on average per day to very much below 1 hour. And that may seem as a bit of a shock, but at the same time, it's important to do that once in a while to drop down the amount of hours you grind. One thing to really say is that further conditioning of your body and of your mind is incredibly important. And I'm not going to get all hippie on you, but I will be saying the following. you've got to treat yourself as a gamer. If you feel you're very much a competitive gamer, then your fueling is incredibly important. What you eat is very important as well. From an eating perspective, I really recommend snacking on things like almonds, nuts, raisins, those kind of things. And then when it comes to meals, make sure your meals are hearty and rich. So things that balance well with vegetables. If you want to have fish, fish is important, but don't overdo it with meats. If you have chicken, then have it one day, and then the next day have something like fish. Have a vegan day, then have a vegetarian day, but mix it up. Couscous with stuffed peppers, you know, it's like, it works quite well. Bit of mozzarella on top, it's nice. Make sure that your diet, your fuel for your gaming and your intense battling is done the same way as you would do life, as if you were training for something. It's got to be a good balance. And at the same time, exercise. It really helps out your mind. Now, what of exercise? I really enjoy DDP's yoga, and I do recommend yoga to a lot of people if you're thinking about getting your joints. And that's the thing, we use our joints a lot, so make sure that you are moving them about as much as possible so you're not getting any kind of damage. Do press-ups, do burpees, and at the same time look to do tri-dips and lots of different combinations of exercise. Go for a walk for about 20 minutes, return and grind out again. Make sure, like I said, your body is fueled, your body is exercised, and at the same time it's good for your mind. And again, you might be thinking there's a lot of hippie BS that you're trying to force at me, and it's like, I'm not. I'm trying to look after your best intentions. I want you to grind out the game. I want you to continue grinding out the game because it's a good game, but at the same time, you've got to look after yourself when you're playing it. I don't want to come across preachy. I'm just looking out for you. In short, look after yourself. Take the things on board that I've said, and at the same time, maybe go a bit further on the nutrition side of things, and as well the exercise plan. Combination of things is fine, but everything in moderation and balance. That is the main thing. Don't go too much to the extreme of one or the other. And at the same time, I'm very much on a 12-month program, and that is like 11 months on the game and 1 month kind of in between the game, still retaining the resources that you grind out from things like Alliance Quest and at the same time Alliance War seasons, but not grinding out the extra stuff. Doing about a week sort of that. You can do your epic, your master and heroic, even for the people that are just starting out in the game and you're intensely grinding, or maybe reached the point that you're a bit unsure whether you can continue further. Take a month off, come back, and you may be a bit more refreshed. Play another game for that time and then come back, and you'll find that you'll feel a little bit better about grinding it. As long as you're not very impatient, you will really continue to enjoy the game, as I have done for nearly 4 years. It's surprising to think I've gone that far, but I do enjoy the game. So like the video if you enjoyed it, hit subscribe if you want to keep subscribed for our Marvel Contest of Champions. I promise not to burn out. And at the same time, you can follow me on social media, links in the description. Catch me in a live stream one time and we can chat more. Thanks so much again, and I shall catch you on the flip side. Bye bye for now.